In today's episode of District Territory, we have got a recap of a thrilling weekend series in Arizona. The Nationals are 7-2-1 in their last 10 victories. We've also got some fan questions that you all asked in last week's episode on Friday. We're going to give you a preview of Monday night as the Nats head into San Francisco to take on the Giants. But let's get into it. Welcome back to the District Territory podcast. Today I'm joined by Kevin Frandsen of the Washington Nationals, Spencer Nussbaum at The Athletic, headed out west to join you in San Francisco today. But Kevin, how you doing on this Monday morning?
Oh, I'm good. I'm home, so every time I'm here, it's nice.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me bright and early. I want to kick it off with Friday night's game because the bats were out and about early. A 14-1 victory. Luis Garcia Jr. got the party started with a two-run homer in the first inning. Watch it go, and then James Wood, the next inning, top of the second, get the Nats out to a 3-0 lead. Kevin, how is James able to get to these pitches above the zone? I mean, so easily, and then hit it out to straightaway center.
Well, I mean, number one, I mean, it's not that high compared to like an average hitter, right? An average hitter that's over their head. For him, it's chest high. So, Sarah Lang's put out that tweet like it's the highest pitch hit this year, but again, it's not like a crazy swing because it's not a crazy chase. For James Wood, how is he able to hit it out? I mean, he's a damn good hitter. He's special. He's every adjective you could find about being just great, and he puts himself into these spots, and he leverages himself, in spots, and he gets himself into a situation where he feels like he can take a chance, and he does it. And so, yeah, I think the other night was one of those, you know, moments where we got to see the true full display of team power, and take advantage of some mistakes made by Diamondbacks pitchers.
Yeah. Overall, just some really, really hard outs in this series. Not to say there haven't been hard outs over the course of the season, but man, I mean, the ball just sounds good in that ballpark over at Chase Field. I love how it sounds, the echoes there. Resume here in the top of the fifth inning. Dalen Lyle adding to the offensive explosion, 7-1, and then next inning in the top of the sixth, Luis Garcia Jr. his second of the game, left on left crime. That was a rude welcoming for Abner. That was his second outing of the season, if I believe. But man, is it fair to say this was a career night for Louis Franny? I mean, two home runs, tough to beat, grand slam.
I mean, he's had some pretty good ones. He had a 3 home run game last year. He had a 6 hit game 3 years ago in Kansas City. So I think it ranks up there. I wouldn't go against it. But look, again, I think a part of the whole thing is that the matchup that day was right for him. And you see that Blake puts him in the 2 hole for most of the starts, but then there's these games where he'll bring him down or not even play him. I mean, he goes 6 RBI and can't even play the next day because the matchup was not right, and that's the part that is intriguing me. The more than anything is just the way that Blake is continuously put these guys into great spots, and I think that's um, a testament to him and not talked about enough. Is that like, look, it's easy to put a guy in six RBI and 2 home runs the day before, but if Eduardo Rodriguez is up there against a left on left and the guy struggles against lefties and you save him from that, that's a good managing job.
Yeah, and what's been fascinating for me as well is if I look back at Friday night's box score, the substitution of like a Curtis Mead for Jose Tena earlier on to get him some rest in a game that the Nats are probably going to win, get Mead some looks, and then to see him get in on the action. I mean, he has just been balling
Well, I
out
mean, like
offensively.
that's the stuff though. It's not even about getting him action. It's like putting Tena in a better spot and him in a better spot. So taking Tena out of versus a lefty and put Curtis Mead in there. So I mean, it's more about that than it is about getting rest and getting reps.
Yeah, I did forget that was a counter to the Diamondbacks pitching move at the time, but it didn't feel like with the way the bats have been rolling, the way the pitching has been rolling over the course of the last month or so. It just felt like the Nats were in control of that game early on, especially the way they played in game ones. And that wasn't their last home run of the night or even of the inning. CJ Abrams just smacking this ball. We talked about him on this show plenty before, talked about him being an all-star, Franny. But what's your case for this guy to be in Philadelphia in a couple months or a month?
My case is bring anybody else that's even close to him in the National League as far as a shortstop. Like there's no one. And with Ellie going down with injury, that was probably his only competition there. But it's going to be, probably Trey Turner and Mookie Betts and Dansby Swanson that are going to get all the votes in the world because the fans are going to be there at their games. And it's up to Nats fans. This is up to Nats fans. This is a testament to them coming out and voting and getting them into the starting lineup because to me, him and James Wood, there is zero, zero, zero reason those guys should ever be on the bench for this game. They should be starting, getting their name introduced, running out to the line.
Yeah, I think like you said, this is a direct call out to Nats fans. This one is on you all. It's
Mm-hmm.
not to say it is a popularity contest, but you got to get your name out there. And Nats fans, you got to help with that. You got to vote these guys in. So vote Nats, get them in here in Philadelphia. But yeah, terrific game Friday night, and the Nats continued where they left off on Saturday. 6-1 victory. Curtis Mead getting the party. Another two-run home run in the first inning. Just walloping left-handers all season long. And then in the top of the seventh inning, Dylan Cruz providing some much-needed insurance at the time, making the score 3-1. He got every stitch of this one, knew it right off the bat. 432. He was just 1 for his last 17 coming into that at bat. And I know the sample size has been small since he returned to the big leagues, Franny, but there have been some loud outs, but you know that had to feel good for Dylan on Saturday.
Yeah, there's too much. There's too much nitpicking about every at bat of his by fans and the Twitter community. I see. It's they're jackasses when it comes to this. Let the kid have these moments of just getting out there to play. I mean, we're not even 100 ABs into him being back, not even close. And yet everyone has to, oh, he's doing this more, he's doing that. It's like, shut up. Just enjoy, please. This is not what it's supposed to be for a kid like this. He's special. And the contact's gonna be there. He's gonna get out. It's gonna be one of those things. Once he gets on a roll, it's gonna be like, oh, see, we told you. It's like, no, just let it play out.
Yeah, I just want to remind the people in the Twitter community there have been some really loud outs here. If you go back and look at StatCast, and they've just been hit right at guys and elevate and celebrate, as you like to say on the broadcast. Got that one up in the air and enjoyed it. Got the help to get the Nats a win on Saturday. Sunday, Nats were not as victorious. It was a revenge game for former Nat Michael Soroka. D-backs won 5-1. Corbin Carroll finally getting in on the home run action with the D-backs. Not to say that was their first of the series, but getting them out to an early 1-0 lead in the first inning. But that was no match for CJ Abrams, his second of the season, tying the game promptly. But in the bottom of the fifth inning, Gabriel Moreno, this didn't feel like the dagger at the time, but certainly separated them, gave them a 4-1 lead. Again, they would go on to win 5-1. But Franny, any notes you take away from yesterday's loss? Anything of significance in that game? The offense just sort of sputtered against a guy that's been rolling all season long.
They sputtered. They hit some balls hard, but I mean, it was more on Michael. Michael was just awesome. He had them up, down, east, west, all that stuff he had going yesterday, and so yeah, it was just one of those games where you worry about, um, you know, could they have done things better yesterday in certain situations? I think first and second situation with Luis Garcia Jr. up after not even a close miss by Soroka, and he goes first pitch swinging and pops up to third baseman. I think that really crushed everything they had, and it's been a problem over his career. Is these moments like yesterday? It was early on. You could tell that he was not into it, but it wasn't about not being into it. Just wasn't the Luis Garcia locked in like he was Friday night, rolling over for a ground ball double play, then his first AB, and that's the stuff they cannot have. They can't have that over and over, for this to be right.
Yeah, and otherwise, at the end of the season, think you're going to find yourself sitting right there at 81 and 81, which I will take. I'll take that if you told me that coming into the season, 81 and 81. But the Nats right now 33 and 33 back at the 500 mark. Take a look at
I
the
mean,
upcoming.
if you even took over, like, 65 was that win total that they're, projected to have. I mean, that's the stuff is like where are we at? Like if you're going to be like if we're 81 and 81, well, I'll take that. It's like, yeah, you'll take that because it's a hell of a lot better than what the projections were at the beginning of the year. And we need to be better at that as far as, talk about like this. It's not about record. It really is not about record for this year. It is about literally finding out what your pieces are moving forward, especially minor leagues. And we've had, so many promotions in the last like just 24 hours to 48 hours that I think is indicative of the actual growth of the team and franchise this year.
Yeah. As soon as we come back from this break, really quickly, going to get into some prospect talk, but I want to give a real quick shout out to one of today's sponsors, SeatGeek. District Territory is sponsored by SeatGeek. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. MLB season is in full swing, as we know. It's June. All-Star game is right around the corner. Our code works on MLB games only now, but you can shop for World Cup tickets on SeatGeek. And with SeatGeek being MLB's official ticket marketing place, your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. I love using SeatGeek because it is quite simple to understand if you're not familiar with the ticketing app. Once you go on to the app and look for your tickets in the ballpark, as the B roll starts to catch up here online for our viewers, you see these green dots, and the green dots mean that you're getting a good deal. It's like reading a stoplight. Yellow is bad, and red is even worse. So you want to stay away from those deals. And of course, I have a code for you. You can use code Territory10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code Territory10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. Alrighty, we are back. Kevin, as I was saying before the break, let's get into some prospect talk. We actually had some questions from fans in last Friday's episode about prospects, but Spencer tweeting out, and as you mentioned before the break, Eli Willits promoted to high A Wilmington. Devin Fitzgerald also on the move up. We talked about him on this show before. And Spencer wrote a really good piece in The Athletic the other day. The Washington Nationals just wrapped up their best month in almost 3 years, so perhaps their farm system has receded to the back of your mind. Probably shouldn't. Kevin, have you been down to the minor leagues at all this year? I mean, obviously down at spring
I can't.
training, you got to see
I
them,
can't.
but I
I
mean,
do every game.
you do every game. I mean, the guys down there are putting up really impressive numbers. A lot of promotions over the course of the weekend. One of the fan questions we had, let me jump to it. We'll get to that one in a moment. When will it be up? The short answer, not this
Up
season.
where? In the
Not
big
this season.
leagues?
Yeah. I just threw that one in there because I thought
I
it was
mean,
amusing after the promotion yesterday. We got the question on Friday.
he's 18 years old.
I'm
He's
not
not
sure. Yeah.
he's got
Not
a
big
long
league ready
ways to
yet.
go.
A long ways to go until Eli's in the big leagues. But in terms of promotions, I think this is a good sign. Could see him getting up to a double A maybe by the end of the season. Do you see a
Uh,
world where that happens, Franny?
no. Just let it be where it's at high A. This is not the old way of doing things where it's you, the no ch- they have to do things that they have to um in a case like this, that Fredericksburg, they win, right? They win their division, which I think is paramount for young guys to experience that. And then you get the promotion after that. This is a now just go and see what you could do here. This is not we're trying to rush you to the big leagues. It's not how it's supposed to be. What what was before was definitely not the normal part of it, where if you had a great week, you got moved up. And if you had a great week there, it's like, oh, we're going to rush you. I mean, look, you're not going to do that. These guys need to uh, be better consistently at levels. They need to graduate. They need to check off every box, and you can't skip steps. And Eli did everything at low A, and I think that's where we need to stop. Is once he gets this move up, don't worry about the promotion to the next spot. He needs to, number one, play. Number two, he needs to dominate this league, in high A. It's going to be a challenge. This is a great challenge to have. And so double A should not be in the conversation until it is.
Yeah, I would agree with that take as well. Just wanted to acknowledge that fan's question. This one I did find a bit more intriguing. Will Joey Weimer be back up this season? Definitely see a scenario where that could happen, given the way he was hitting the ball earlier this season. But Franny, think we see a return of Joey to the big leagues at any point this season?
Not unless there's an injury.
Yeah. You saw him more just as a filler guy for those first couple months.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a good organization has, though, is they have depth in the minor leagues, and whose spot is he going to take? Is it that's the question.
Yeah. Unless there's some serious injuries, I'm not sure if it's happening either. I want him to just mash the ball like the way that he did in April to see it happen. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it was a really fun run that we had there with Joey for the first couple months of the season. Now we're getting into the good questions, the juicy ones. What role does DJ Hurts play if and when he returns from injury? What role does he play? I'd say a pretty critical one, given the state of the Nationals bullpen right now, and especially left-handed pitching. Just seeing as, hey, you could always use more left-handed pitching. Am I wrong or am I wrong?
No, you can always use more. His role is not going to be as critical as people think because we got to think about this too. He's rehabbing. He's rehabbing Tommy John. It's he'll probably be in like a Mitchell Parker, um, Brad Lord, but maybe lower leverage situation earlier. Piggyback off somebody. Maybe he's opener. One of the things that we knew from DJ Hurts is that like first time through the order, he just dominated people, right? So maybe we see more opens out of him one time through, and that's a part of his rehab process. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't look into it as being like this vital role for. I mean, he's still coming back and doing these rehab outings right now, or just starting his rehab outings. So yeah, critical is not the word I would use. I think he is going to be a part of it. And I think that's the part we have to again, when someone's coming off of Tommy John with the future is really the thing that matters in this, not just about the now. He's going to he'll have a role, but what role is that is going to be up to what they determine him to be in his health.
Yeah, I may want to roll back the use of the word critical there, given the outlook of, as Franny has mentioned throughout the course of this episode, what the goals are to given this season. Um, but I just love left-handed pitchers, man. You can never have too many of them,
So
I
did
feel
I.
like.
I loved
You
hitting
know?
off him.
The last question we got, man. This one is a bunch of questions packed into one, but there were some good ones in here. Until recently, it seemed the Nats would trade CJ before the deadline. It seems that sentiment has changed, and now there is an increasing speculation that the Nats could sign CJ to a long-term deal. Could you discuss this? Also, could you discuss whether CJ's recent improved defensive performance could he remain a long time big league shortstop without being switched to another position? Like, I think this dude's arm has proven and his range has proven he can be a big league shortstop for a good 5, 6, 7 years to come. But I don't think within this organization there's really much of a concern to be moving him around at positions, even with the guys coming up in the depth chart.
Well, I mean that's the interesting part of this because overall evaluators would rate CJ as a very average to below average shortstop. Arm is okay. Footwork has gotten so much better. Could he stay there? Sure. It's all up to him and his abilities to continue to get better. But I also think that his best position could also be second base, could be center field. You never know. And that's what the Nationals have to decide. He has a long way still to go. I mean, this is early parts of the year weren't great, but we're starting to see better angles out of him. There at shortstop, could he stick there long term? Yeah, but feel like the value for him might be at his highest when he if and when they choose to move him to second base or they have the replacement behind him. until then, like, I think he's been fantastic compared to years past, but I still think there's a long ways to go. I mean, I played with some of the best shortstops to have played this game. You know, Brandon Crawford and Omar Vizquel. You look at Eric Ibar. You know, those are Jimmy Rollins. Those are all guys that I look at as being some of the best defensive shortstops to play, and he's not there. And he's still 25, so there's still room for him. But what we've seen as far as the growth, absolutely, he's been fantastic. And do I wish that they were able to sign him long term? Yes, I wish that. But if it's in the plans, right? Like I'm not going to sit here and question the plan. Everything that they've talked about and been very genuine about, they haven't gone away from. So if you know all the trade talk during the offseason where he was very upfront, Paul Taboni was with CJ and um, how what they were thinking, what they were doing. I think has created this trust between the two of them and the entire organization. I think that is amazing. So they didn't sell him, in the offseason for a reason. They didn't get enough. Number one, because they think that highly of him, and number two, it's going to take a lot. And organizations on the other side of this, who knows what they want to do. And I don't see teams giving up what we want in that for him right now. Maybe in the wintertime, but yeah, CJ is too big of a piece for this franchise right now. It's hard to think about like the trades unless you were blown away by it.
Yeah. Piece of the trade. If you want to own a future piece of the Nationals, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, folks. If you're a new listener, we are giving away an Eli Willett signed baseball card once we hit 1,000 subscribers. Nats taking on the Giants later today. We got Miles Michaelis and Logan Webb on the bump. Logan Webb turning in some solid outings as of late. Miles Michaelis on the other side, 1-5 with a 6.93. What are going to be the keys to the game for the Nats later tonight, Franny?
Well, they got to get underneath. They got to get underneath Logan Webb. I mean, 59% ground ball rate. They got to be able to pick him up in the zone. He's an ace. There's very few of them in the game. He's one of them. And no matter, he's coming off his second outing post injury, so he went 4 1/3 in I think it was Colorado, and then pitched really well against the Brewers. And the Brewers, the Brewers brewed. Which what do they do? They just battle you. They make sure that they're you know taking their best hacks. They're going to fight you. But he ends up going 7 with 1 hit, struck out 4, walked 1 around the zone. They just fought him, but he dominated, right? And he earned every bit of it. This is a guy this year when he's ahead in the count, 156 average, no home runs. It's a 193 slug. When he's behind, it's a 341 average for 512 slug. So you can't be up there going first pitch hacking. It's just going to be a ground ball all day. And if you go up there and play into that, he's going to be in the 8th inning at 70 pitches. And so they've been so good at being able to get deeper into a pitch count of a guy, especially early. But a guy like Logan Webb, you have got to early on. You have got to hone in on bringing him up in the zone to actually get things going.
Yeah. I think just team at bats has kind of been the key to a lot of these victories over the past couple of weeks and keeping the line moving. I mean, as is the case in all victories, but especially against an ace. Like you said, Franny, you got to wear him down and get into that bullpen in game one. That'll be helpful for Tuesdays and Wednesdays games. Really quickly, going to take another quick break to shout out one of our sponsors, FanDuel. District Territory is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. So it's going to be windy over at the ballpark later today, and as we just mentioned, ace Logan Webb on the bump. But I'm going to go ahead and say Dalen Lyle be my pick for dinger of the day later on. He had one in Arizona the other day, lefty on righty. I could see the crime happening. Who knows? if you're ready to play your game, head over to fanduel.com/podcast to get started. It's fanduel.com/podcast to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a home run. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball.
No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
And we are back. Time for some final thoughts. Franny, back home, back home in SF. What's it feel like to be there and just, fond memories, me not, playing there in San Francisco over the course of years? Do you have so I want to ask you to pinpoint one favorite memory or one favorite game in that ballpark, but is there anything that stands out to someone that's never been there before? Because I still haven't made it out there.
It's probably the greatest view that you'll ever have out of a booth or out of the stands, any spot that you're going to be there. It's a different vibe, especially when they're good. It's not I wouldn't say a bandwagon jumping, fan base, as far as the energy, but when things are going good and it feels like everyone's on the same page, whether it's fans and team and all that stuff, that's when the place has energy, and it's a fantastic place. I mean, it's awesome. Doesn't matter at any time of the year. If it's going to be cold, it's going to be cold. Take in a day game then, because most day games are beautiful.
Yeah, just from the stories I've heard, kind of get like a Wrigley-esque feel from those fans. Show up early, just, be not rowdy, but rowdy in a good way, supportive of the team. Uh, but yeah, the stories just seem similar. And again, I cannot attest to either one. It's a shame I haven't visited either of those ballparks yet. Yeah, looking ahead, Nats have a 3-game set West Coast late night Nats before an off day on Thursday to return home for some interleague play against the Mariners and the Royals, and then another off day before they start a long stretch of East Coast road trip games. Give our online viewers a look at the National League East standings. As of this morning, Nats at 33 and 33, smack dab in the middle of the National League East. And hey, don't look too early. It's June 8th, but wild card standings, Nats are just a game and a half outside of the picture. Franny, one last question before you go. Do you know what game number this is later today for the Nats?
67.
Thank you. That's about all I had. Yesterday was like a national holiday. I got like a couple messages and questions saying, hey, can you ask the players about 6-7? That'd be the last question I think I'd ever ask.
I would hope that'd be the last thing.
Yeah, that'd be the last one. That'd be it for me. Sorry, Bat Boy fans. There's no 6-7 content coming. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. We'll be back on Wednesday, recapping the Giants series, perhaps previewing Wednesdays. We don't have our recording time figured out just yet, but feel like a post game could be in order. Hopefully, we have Spencer back. Franny, anything you want to toss in before we head out?
All good. Good start to the trip this in Arizona. Hopefully, they can win another series on the road. It'd be going on now 9. Hopefully, 9 road series wins after this one.
Yeah, be remarkable. I'll look to keep it rolling later on today, but until Wednesday's episode, we will see you later.